friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Act like my beat ain't no happy, but later I'm counting the guap. Who gave you the voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie up the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Breno Javinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands in your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get the fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my zip the back that like a popo. Don't do these, they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they on ride down to Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you would have.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with the man who has had to stick with me all season long, Charles Davis. And, Charles, the anticipation, the hype, the media coverage, all in the rearview mirror now. We can finally get down to playing some football.
Yeah, don't worry about that, partner. I'll ride or die with you anytime. You know that. But here's the best thing about this. Everyone talks about trying to keep things normal as they approach for Super Bowl. There is no such thing as normal. The pageantry, the hype, all of that is more intense than anyone could ever imagine. What you're trying to do is embrace it in one way and make sure it doesn't totally knock you off your game. That's why the night before the big one, teams often switch hotels, try and give those guys that last chance to breathe a little bit before they go out and play.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Newton. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. On second down, here's Newton. He dumps it underneath for Taylor. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Throwing on third down, Newton. Forced out to his left. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. To 21 yards there as they convert on third.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be a second and long. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now it's Newton. Going for a right side here, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Now a give to Taylor. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. A chance for the first score of this Super Bowl. Here's 1st and goal. And now he'll tuck it and run. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. He lets it fly for Lockett. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, here's Newton. He's going to look deep down the field. And it's caught at the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 63 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
They get it to him running left. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. Throwing is Newton. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the... Check down, nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. And this one is right through. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 68 yards. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. David Johnson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Extra point try good by Gano. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Gano out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember that
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a first down throw for Newton. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They fake the give. Newton. Flush, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey.
Newton now to throw. He's got a man. It's something that's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that...
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a 1st down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when, who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. Newton to throw. That is incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, I believe that they were in 4-down territory, and that's what they were thinking. But after the loss, I've got to kick the field goal. No way I'm going to go for it in this situation. But you know, some of these coaches, they're extremely unpredictable, and they may go ahead and press it.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. They got his man complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He got 29 yards that time. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 46. They go play action now. Wilson. He gets it left side of Johnson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. First down carry here for Johnson. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To go here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. They go play action with Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Wilson. He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
But a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Play action. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Gano's kick is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to
through an opening, and there he goes. 30, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. As his guys are in for 6, and the Broncos are in for 6. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point right down the middle, and that gives them a 3-point lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Now Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10, it's Wilson again. Underneath for Johnson. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, a one-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Wilson on 1st down. Flushed out right. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Play action. It's Wilson. Rolling to his right. It's complete right side to Benjamin. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Kelvin Benjamin in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And he knocks it through. Sano out to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. Oh, a miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Here's Wilson to throw. Buying time to his left. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Here's Wilson. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It was Jaron Reed who got him down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll roll him out right. And he'll find Sutton on the right side complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Newton on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Back to the air. Newton on second down. And that's going to be incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly. That leads to a play-action sack. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan, How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to. And if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Wilson off the play fake. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They go to Johnson again. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, Wilson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He dumps it underneath for Taylor. Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet there are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks.
There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
20. Hey.
Now Newton on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Newton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back now here on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Newton. He's going to air one out. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Broncos draw a bit closer.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. A toss running left. That's Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Johnson busting through contact Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the third down pass falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Throwing is Newton.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. So with a yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? All right, 300. That means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle and then give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence flowing through him right now, throwing the football. I think it's permeated itself throughout the entire team. They feel good about what they're doing.
Play action. It's Newton. He's going to wind up and air that. It's caught inside the 25. Oh, the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Back to throw, Newton. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
In today's football, the receivers break tackles, make...
And he did it! Touchdown, Denver. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos are an extra point away from taking the lead. A very important extra point there, up and good, and they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Wilson, Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A nice gain of 21 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Again, it's Johnson. And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Time for a break. We're back to perhaps crown a champion after this. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
19.
Johnson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now it's Newton. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down. Here's Marquette King now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
they practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Hey, tempo. 14.
Back to throw. Underneath for Johnson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll look to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Wilson to lock it there for the Seahawk first down. First down now, but that clock rolling.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. He hits Baldwin right side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
He's back to throw, eluding the pressure right toward the sideline, and look at that catch, dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Let's go. Run left.
The busy night continues for Johnson. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on first and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll run it with Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a second and goal. And they'll stop it with 4 seconds showing on the clock. So it all comes down to the right foot of Graham Gano. This undoubtedly the biggest kick of his life. And his kick is good. The field goal is through the uprights, and they've won the Super Bowl. And the Seahawks are the class of the NFL. Seattle wins the Super Bowl. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.